Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing tonight? I don't have my contacts in. I took my contacts out earlier, and my contacts were really hurting me. And so I took them out and I put my glasses on, and I was just like, I'm leaving my glasses on. I'm not going to put my contacts back in just to do my vlog. They don't care. Half of them don't even watch it anyway. They just listen to what I have to say. So I just dropped Tanya Jean off. We went to Meijer and Walmart, and she had to get a bunch of stuff at Meijer, and so I went with her for the third time today. I went earlier to get dog food, like all the dog food for the kennel, and then I got home and I realized we were out of dog food, so I had to go back to Meijer and get dog food for between now and when they leave. And then we went tonight. So I went to Meijer 3 times today. And tonight I don't know really what I bought. I bought dog treats. I bought a leave to take on the trip. I bought deodorant. What else did I buy? I can't think. I'm really excited. Tomorrow, Tanya and I are gonna go. I'm gonna take her to get a pedicure, and I'm supposed to pick her up at like 11:30. We're gonna go get coffee. We haven't done this in a while. And then we're gonna go get pedicures, and then we're gonna go back to either her house or the kennel, and we're gonna film a video of best friend answers questions about me. And so I'm really excited about it. And everybody asked really nice questions. I thought I'd get some maybe not so nice questions on there, but the questions were, I mean, I literally got like over 100 questions, you guys. And a lot of them are repeats, but they were really, really nice questions. I'm excited about it. I'm going to film that, and then I will probably post that the day that we leave. So yeah, which is Thursday morning. And really, really excited. Cannot wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm like all over the place in my head about what I want to talk about. I mean, because I just have a lot of like press release stuff. I mean, just which I call like talking about my day press release. But so what did I do today? I got up and I had a horrible migraine today. And I just like my head, I woke up and my head was just absolutely pounding. And so I was like, okay, I had my training at 1, and I went downstairs and I took a leave, and I was like, if my head's not any better, I can't do this. Like, I mean, I didn't even want to get out of bed. And I got back up at like 11:45 because I wanted to give her enough notice. And I was like, there's no way, my head is still hurting. So I texted her to see if I could change it to another day before I leave. And canceled my appointment for today. So that was that. And then I went back to bed actually for like another 45 minutes. Took the dogs out, went back to bed. And then I got up. I stayed up too late last night listening to my audiobook. But On the Come Up is so good, you guys, by Angie Thomas. The other thing is, okay, so I want to read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo on my trip. I got it on Audible to listen to, and I thought that was going to be the book that I was going to pick. So the other night, I was telling Tanya, I was like, she's like, I want a book that I can't put down. I haven't read a book in a long time that I absolutely can't put down. And I go, well, have you heard about this book called, because she likes kind of like historical stuff. And I said, have you heard of this book called The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo? And she's like, no, I've never heard of it. And I said, it's about this woman, and she's like an aging Hollywood star, or elderly Hollywood star, and she wants to write her memoirs, and she finally just randomly picks this magazine reporter, and it tells this story. And I said, it's supposed to be fantastic. So Tanya started it yesterday and literally read nonstop, like all night long. And stayed up till 5 o'clock in the morning reading it. She said it might be one of her all-time favorite books she's ever read. She said it was absolutely unbelievable. I said, am I going to like it? She goes, I can't even talk to you about it. She said, because it is that good. I said, is it really that good? She goes, oh my God, it is like absolutely incredible. So I'm really excited about reading that. And then, What else? My friend always says, she lives right here, she's always like, if you're up and you're around vlogging, you should drive by, and if you see the lights on and I'm up, then say hi. I'm gonna drive by her house. I'm gonna see if she's up. I know she's not. It's 1:30 right now. Why is this car turning in behind me? Oh my God, this would be so funny if this was my friend turning in behind me, wouldn't it? I've been listening to John Denver songs all day long and I have them stuck in my head. Where's her house? Oh, it's this next one. Nope, her car's in the driveway though. Did she get a new car? Nope. She told me she was getting a new car. She didn't get a new car. Girl, you said you were getting a new car. When you get in your new car? Anyway, turn around. I don't want to go. I think this goes all the way around, actually. Come, let me love you. Well, I drove by your house. You weren't up. I should text her and be like, are you up? But I don't want to text her at 1:30 at night. So anyway, does this go all the way through? Why do I feel like this goes all the way through? I feel like I drove around this way one time. Tanya and I stopped by her house one night. I think actually we put that on the vlog. Did we put it on the vlog when we stopped by her house and we were like, she'd gotten her house redone and we were like looking through the front door and we could see everything that she'd gotten done. She'd gotten like all this like wood paneling on the wall. It looks like a part of like a sailboat. It's so cool, like her entryway to her house. She's dying to be in a vlog. So I'm gonna let her be in a vlog one of these days. Is this it? No, but this does go all the way through. Is this it? This is it, I think. It goes through up here. Well, this will take me through the front side of her house, so that way I can... She'll crack up when she knows that I was driving. She watches all my vlogs, so she'll crack up when she knows I was driving through her neighborhood. Oh, her house is dark, dark. Well, her bedroom, she's got like a blue light in her bedroom. I can see it up there. But every other light is out downstairs. She's asleep. You're asleep right now. Anyway. So I got up after taking the leave. I still had like a dull migraine all day long. It was bad. And so I went and got a coffee because sometimes caffeine helps. And then that's when I went to Meijer to get the dog food the first time, brought it back. I wasn't going to make any videos because my head it just hurt so bad this morning. I was just like, I'm not going to make any videos today. I'm just like, I want to be in a good space if I'm making videos, and my head was hurting so bad. And then a friend of mine from high school who also watches my vlogs, I didn't even ask her today how she found them. But like, we literally have not, she and I were like really good friends in high school. And I have not talked to her. Well, it was funny because I said to her something today about being sober and she remembered like this. Okay, I'll talk about that in a second. So anyway, but I think we haven't talked in like, so I graduated in 90. So 2020 will be my 30-year anniversary. So we haven't talked in like, I don't know, like 27, 28 years, something like that. It's been a really, really long time. She was a year behind me. And so she like reached out to me and we talked forever on the phone today. It was so nice talking to her. And it was weird. It was like she didn't sound any different than she did like so long ago. And we like caught up and talked about our lives and everything, and it was really cool. I was talking about being sober to her, and I said, you know, I don't know, like, if you remember when it got, like, really, really bad. And this is, like, where I have, like, a distorted view of how I was in high school versus how I was in college. because I like to think that high school, I wasn't that off. I mean, I drank. Like, somebody asked on a vlog the other day, I think. It was either on a vlog or it was on my Wendy Williams video. They said, how could you have such a horrible drinking problem if you started drinking at 21 and then you got sober at 22, because the legal drinking age in the United States is 21. Well, I started drinking at 12, stealing alcohol. And I didn't need to explain it because enough people went underneath there and explained that, like, you know, people drank before that and all this kind of stuff. Tony and I got a fountain pop tonight. So anyway, I got a Diet Dr. Pepper. But, so I was like, well, you probably don't remember ever seeing, like, the worst of the worst with me. And she was like, oh, no, I remember. She was like, there was, like, this one incident that I really, really remember. And she was like, we went to graduation, like, she said it was either like the year after I graduated, which would have been 2 years for me, or 2 years out. And she said, but I remember, like, you and I were just, she said, it was a bad night. She said, I remember, like, I was not good the next day, and I was hungover. And she was like, and, you know, we were both just, like, really, really out of control. And, I don't remember that, but I do remember liking to get very intoxicated and going into public places, because I just wouldn't care at that point too. And I'm sure if it was associated with high school, you know, anything that had to do with high school for those first couple of years back or out, I kind of went back into it. You know, like if I had to go to a graduation or something, because I had friends that were like a year behind me and like 2 years behind me. And so if I went for like a graduation or something, I'm sure I had a little bit to drink, or a lot, because I just would have been like, screw those people. High school was, you know, really tough for me. So she and I talked for a long time. We're going to get together when I get back from my trip. And then I came home and my head felt better, like a lot better. And I was going inside and talked to the wife of my neighbor, and went and she had me in her condo and sat there, met her dog, met her neighbor, met her dog, met her daughter. And I met her daughter yesterday, but she's so friendly. We lucked out with some really great neighbors, and just really, really cool woman, really nice. And so anyway, talked to her, kind of told her the lay of the land of the neighborhood. And then I came inside and I made a couple different videos. And then my head started hurting again, and I was like, I think I need to eat something. And Alex wasn't coming home till later because he's working a lot this week before we leave. So I went and I got Jimmy John's. I like almost never get Jimmy John's, and I went and got a veggie sandwich, or veggie club from Jimmy John's, and jalapeno chips and a Diet Coke. I haven't done real well in the fountain pop area today. And then I came home and I ate that. Then Alex came home while I was like, I came home and I had to like feed the dogs and like finish getting my videos up and doing a bunch of other stuff. So I did all that, and then I sat down to eat. And then as I sat down to eat, like, Alex texted me and was like, I'm on my way home. And I said, okay. And so he was trying to pack tonight and get it all done, or most of it done. He was doing a lot of laundry tonight, because I had to get new laundry detergent, and because I'm obsessed with that Gain laundry detergent. So I had to buy laundry detergent and fabric softeners tonight, because we are out of that, and we were using the Kirkland brand from Costco, which I don't mind, but I really like the Gain stuff, especially if I'm going to go on vacation. But so yeah, and then I just did some stuff around the house, and then Tanya was like, do you want to go to Meijer? And I was like, yeah, sure. So she said she was going to lay down and rest or something for a little bit. So she said, why don't you pick me up about 11? So I hung out with Alex and talked to him. And then I went and picked her up. And I've been listening to my audiobook all through the day too, on the come up. And it's like so great. Oh my God, the moon is so weird looking tonight. But anyway, yeah, that was my day. What did I say that I was going to come back and talk about in a second? I don't remember what that was. doesn't matter. I started this off feeling like I had so many things to talk about, and I guess I didn't really have as many things to talk about. But we went to Meijer, and I bought a bunch of stuff, and then I really want a tie-dye shirt to take on this trip, because I just do. And I have like 2 or 3 tie-dyes at home that are like so old, but they don't fit. They're like mediums or larges, and I'm like in an extra large right now. And so I wanted to go to Walmart, because I thought, well, maybe Walmart might have them. Walmart, that brand George, which I sometimes get like button downs for that if I have to like go to a wedding or something, because they have like their button downs like are wrinkle free and they're really nice. And so for like a wedding all day long, they're cheap and they're like nice button downs. So I go in there and they have this brand called George. I think it's like Walmart's brand or whatever. And they had all of these shorts. Okay, so if you have a husband or a son, they're like fashionable, okay? Like, I mean, not like, you know, something you get at Saks, but like Target or, you know, Macy's or something. But they have them above the knee, like, you know, the preppier ones. I love those shorts, and that's what I like, and Alex does too. They had like, I'm gonna show them in a video, but I got like 3 different pairs. I got like a navy blue, kind of off navy blue. It's kind of like a grayish navy blue. And then I got one that's blue that has little green, what do you call it on it? The bird that stands on one leg. Why can't I think of what that's called? Anyway, shoot, why can't I think of that? They're usually pink. Flamingos. It has a little, or maybe the flamingos are pink, but I think they're green on this thing. And then I got a pair of like, I wanted a pair of these like teal blue, turquoise blue shorts, but they didn't have my size, so I got them in like this peach color. They were $9.96, and they are like really fashionable. And then they had these really cute t-shirts, but they didn't have a lot in extra large. They only had like one that I liked. They were kind of stiff, but they were really cute. They were $7.56. So those are some new things I got. So if you're looking for something for your husband or your boyfriend, or if you're somebody out there that's looking for a pair of shorts or whatever, they're really cute. So yeah, I was excited about that. And I like put this little outfit together while I was there. I was like, I got this pair of like these off like bluish gray shorts are really cute. And then with this shirt that I got, and then like my new camo Birkenstocks, I was like, this will look really cute together. I also ordered 2 hats on Amazon Plus today, or Prime today. I told Tanya tonight, I said, that Amazon Prime is becoming a problem for me. She goes, oh, I went through that. And she said, you got to stay off there. I go, I know, Tanya. I said, it's becoming like a problem. Like, I'm on there every day. Like, and now it's like just almost kind of looking at to see what I can get that they can like deliver the very next day, you know? My God. And I mean, it's all like really cheap stuff. These hats that I bought were like $23. Okay, let's just be for real. I have a $160 hat on my head right now, or $140 hat. I think this one was. The other one was $160 on my head right now. So let's just be for real, okay? I mean, it's much cheaper. And they're these Gorin hats, and I have one that I like already. But Alex wears that hat a lot. It has a rooster on it, and it says cock. Okay, the battery is gonna die. I'm gonna pull in here and change the battery. I actually brought, because I knew it would. I didn't change my battery from when I was filming videos earlier. Well, I'll just keep on talking until the battery dies, and then I'll pull in somewhere, because there's not really any place to pull in right now anyway. But, yeah, so just getting trip stuff done. Oh, I did so much other stuff for the trip today, too. I have 23 things on my list, and I knocked off about, like, 8 of them tonight. So I feel really, or 8 of them today. So I feel really good about that. And, I kind of want to have everything done so that on Wednesday, I'm not, like, stressed out and, like, you know, and Alex is not working on Wednesday, so that way we can kind of enjoy the day together and have fun, other than I'm going to take the dogs to the kennel in the afternoon and hang out with Tanya for just a little bit, but other than that, like, I just don't want to be stressed. I'm always stressed the day before I leave. I'm already kind of, like, stressed, and this is stupid. Like, I feel so blessed to even be going on this vacation. But they're two kind of different, vacations. Like, we're going to Miami, but then we're going to Mexico. And even though it's kind of similar, it's like, okay, so in Miami, I need a pair of shoes to wear out to a club at night. And Miami's very strict about that. You have to have a nice pair of shoes. And I bought these ASOS shoes, but I just don't love them. They're not my favorites. And I want to take these penny like loafer things with tassels on them, but they're so heavy, and I'm trying to pack as light as I possibly can because I've got to take stuff for 12 days. And then I've got to have, so that's one pair of shoes. I have to have a pair, and I'm not going to wear those shoes like anywhere else other than out to a club. I then have to have my gym shoes or sneakers, sneakers for Ultra. So that's 2 pairs of shoes. And usually I take 2 or 3 pairs of shoes for Ultra because I like to have choices. We all need choices. So that's 2 pairs of shoes. And then I'm gonna take my Sperry's because that's probably what I'll wear like out to dinner. If we go out to dinner somewhere, with a pair of shorts or jeans or something. I mean, and that's casual, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of these restaurants you go to are like dressy, and but like, a lot of them you can just wear like shorts and sandals. So then I want to take a pair of my Birkenstocks and then a plastic pair of my Birkenstocks, and that's like really me minimally not taking a lot of shoes. So I think I'm gonna wear my Sperry's and pack the other 4 pairs of shoes. But they're all of those shoes are rather light, like they shouldn't cause a lot of weight. And I was gonna buy like all of this like after sun lotion and stuff like that, and I told Tanya, I said, do you think this stuff's gonna be really heavy in my bag? And she was like, oh yeah, I think it's gonna be super heavy. And I said, then you know what, like I'm just gonna get it when we get to Florida, and I'll just carry it on with me on our way to Mexico, and that's what I'll do. And oh, but I won't be able to do that, will I? Because I can't carry on like liquids and stuff like that. Damn it. Oh well, I'll figure something out. But anyway, I'm not gonna stress about packing to go on a trip that I mean is an amazing trip, 12 days. We haven't done that since. Okay, change the battery. I sort of got this pancake place up here was open. I would go in and get me some pancakes right now. I don't know why pancakes sound so good. I need to stop driving by this pancake place. I cannot tell you how many people live in Indianapolis that say they know exactly where I'm driving when I'm driving. That cracks me up. My friend said that to me today on the phone. She was like, I know exactly where you're driving, like when you're driving. She's like, it's hilarious. This place is called Hot Cakes Restaurant. If y'all want to know where I'm at, I'm in Oak Landon. I'm right by the, which I never come to Oak Landon. The only thing I ever do is vlog over here. I'm right by the whiskey business. That's a bar, in case you want to know. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I mean, the last time that Alex and I took a super long trip like that, I shouldn't say this because then I'll be like, okay, well, last 2 years ago we went on a really long trip. I can't remember. I mean, we usually, like, going to Miami, we usually do go for like 8 or 9 days, but like, the last time we went like on an 11 or 12 day trip was on our honeymoon. Oh, the light's off. Was on our honeymoon / wedding. But I think we were gone 11 days, so this is even longer than that, which I'm really, really excited about. I feel very blessed to be able to take this vacation, and I'm worried about leaving my dogs. Tanya and I had a long conversation about that tonight, because I was like, I'm nervous about it, Pee-Pee's heart disease and stuff, and she's like, well, if there's an emergency, I'm like, if there's an emergency, I'm flying home. I don't care. I'll just end my vacation short and come home. Like, I'm not... So, but I hope the little guy does well. He's done well this week. I mean, he coughs throughout the day. I guess the thing that scares me, and maybe this is allergies. Allergies are really bad right now in Indiana, and maybe that's why I had the migraine this morning. I don't know. But, he coughs at least once or twice a day. And before, and I mean, I know it's going to start, I know there's going to be a point where it starts becoming on a regular basis. I mean, the vet told us this. But before, he wasn't coughing at all. And so, now every time he coughs, it freaks me out. And I think the other thing that freaks me out is, like when he coughs, he usually coughs at night. So he'll be in bed with us and it wakes me up immediately. And I'm like, it's okay, Pee-Pee, it's okay. Well, I mean, like, if he's at the kennel, or if she takes him home for the night, like, he's not going to be around people that are going to wake up and be like, it's okay, BB, it's okay. And it kind of seems to calm him down a little bit. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm worrying about nothing. I just love that little dude so much, and I hope he's going to be okay. So anyway, I'm really excited about this trip, and I feel very blessed, and I'm really happy to, I feel happy. Yeah, I feel happy. No, I do, but I feel like I'm just so ecstatic and so excited to go on this trip. And I remember when I was like really worried about it, like back in the day, I was like, this is, you know, it's a long trip, it's expensive and whatever. And I was like, and Rich Lux heard me talking about it in a vlog, because like he watches my vlogs, which cracks me up. But I'm so thankful that he does. That means so much to me that he puts it on in the background while he's like doing stuff around the house. Is that not so funny? And he'll like ask me the most random stuff from a vlog. But anyway, before we like were planning the trip, like he said to me, he was like, you need to schedule this trip and go on this trip. It'll be good for you and Alex. And he was like, you know, you need to not worry about the money. And he was like, you guys need to go in and enjoy it. And he was like, you know, just go and have a good time. And I was like, you know what? He's right. Like, I need to do that. And that was like I would say that was part of why like I ended up, I mean, it wasn't the reason, but it wasn't definitely in my head. And I was like, you know what? He's right. So once I get on vacation, I'm fine. It's always like the preparation getting there that like kind of freaks me out. And the other thing is that because I'm at home most of the time, like Alex doesn't do all of the getting ready stuff. He basically does laundry, pack, and then he's ready to go. Like, you know, I'm the one that like gets the passports ready and, you know, make sure that like everything's okay and the dog's got all the food and Pee-Pee's got all of his medication. I'm like, you know, I do all that stuff to make sure that it's okay. I mean, he would help if I asked him to, but, you know, like he's at work and stuff, so I just go do it. And so I always like, that's why I have this 23 thing list, because I'm always like stressed out about making sure I get everything done, you know, making sure the bills are paid before we leave, because it's the first of the month that we'll be gone, stuff like that, you know. Does anybody else, like Tanya said, we were talking about it tonight, I already knew this, but she always stresses before vacation too. She's like, oh, I know. Eric packs his suitcase, puts it by the door, and then he just sits in front of the TV for 3 days. She's like, you know, she's like, I'm the one that's making sure everything's going to be okay. She's like, and then I'm stressed because I have to leave the kennel. And she's like, you know, but she was like, but then we get on vacation and we just like reconnect and we do, you know, it's like, and I think that's what's so great about going on vacation with my husband. It's like such an opportunity for us to like connect and like, you know, just be like, you know, that connected, which I love. And I talked to Melissa today for a while on the phone too. We're like so excited. Oh my God. We're the Miami crew. It's the Miami crew. Oh my God, I totally should have had t-shirts made for us. Stupid camera. I should have had t-shirts made for us called the Miami Crew. Nobody would have wanted to wear them, especially my husband. I've been like, okay, Alex, you're wearing this t-shirt called the Miami Crew. He'd have been like, no. Is it out of focus now? I think it's out of focus now. Come, let me love you. It is out of focus, damn it. Where can I pull in? I'm just gonna turn it off and I'll start it back up. There, it's better. Okay. So anyway, yeah. Ooh, it's a little toasty in here. It was like nice today outside, and I actually wore my Birkenstock sandals, but tonight it's like 30, and Tanya and I were like at Walmart, and we were walking in. I said, it's kind of cold outside. It's usually 40 something when I'm vlogging, isn't it? Yeah, it's kind of chilly tonight. I was gonna tell you guys something. What did Alex say? He got me laughing. so hard today. Oh my God. We were laughing so hard sitting around. Oh, what was it? He said, it was so funny. I don't remember. But it was something I wanted to tell you guys. It was so funny. This house over here, they have like all of those, like, you know, one single light like in the window, like for Christmas. Somebody told me one time that has something to do with like soldiers or something. But like, is it one light in the window, or is it like, or somebody that's kidnapped or something, they leave like a light in the window? But that's like Christmas ones, like every light in the window. Did you guys hear that the one of the fathers of the girl from the Sandy Hook shooting thing killed himself? So sad. Just like continued tragedy, you know? I cannot imagine living through that and like I just can't, you know? You know, like, I did this Peterisms video today, and I was talking about, like, it had this line in it that said something to the effect of, when you go through something at the time, like, you don't think it's like you're learning anything, right? I am not applying this to the Sandy Hook shooting whatsoever, okay? Not whatsoever. I'm saying this about my own life in terms of tragedy. But that down the road, you look back, and A, it wasn't as bad as it, like, I'm kind of talking about what I talked about in the video, but A, it wasn't as bad as you thought it would be, but B, you made it through, and C, you maybe learned some valuable lessons, you know? And as I was talking about it, I was thinking about, like, the tragedies I've really suffered in my life, you know? Well, you know, like, losing my mom, but the reality is, as much as I miss her, you know, my mom died in a hospital in a coma with her friends and family around her. Like, it's like she would have even said, I think, before that, because we had lots to talk about death. Like, my mom, she liked to talk about death, and not necessarily like morbidly, but she would, like, you know, I mean, my mom took a lot of classes on death and dying and things like that when she was getting her master's degree, and she read a lot about Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, and she had friends that worked in hospice. And so we would talk about it, you know, and she would say, I just think, like, to be able to just go in, you know, a bed surrounded by your friends and family is the way, or just to go in your sleep, you know? So she went that way, you know? And as much as it's sad, I don't know that I would necessarily even deem it a tragedy, you know? So when I look at the hardships in my life, or the things that have been hard to get through, my stuff's pretty good compared to what many, many people have gone through and suffered in their lives, you know? And I feel blessed for that. I just do, you know? Like, I don't know. You know, and then you take it out of our own social structure of being, like, here, like, if you're watching this, like, in the United States, and, like, you know, a city or a suburban area where we can, like, go to the gas station and get a fountain Coke, or, you know, drive through somewhere and get a sandwich or something, or if you have a couple bucks, versus, you know, like, or Australia or the UK, or, like, where most of the other people, like, outside of the United States watch my videos. Hey, Annie, how are you doing? From Australia. But you know what I mean? Like, I think probably the experiences socially of the UK and the United States and Australia are similar to some degree, as well as many other countries. But then there are many places in the world that the poverty level and the disease, as well as the, you know, the laws of freedom there, I mean, are on a level that we really take our privilege for granted, in this country. I really do, you know, and don't even think about it, you know. And so I think that's where gratitude is so important in my life, not just in making a gratitude list of all the things I'm really thankful for, but also looking at what my life could look like, just because I happen to not be born in a different area to different people, you know? And you don't talk about fair, what's the fairness in that? Because somebody was born in a third world country, and so their life experience is different than mine, you know? I mean, like, there's no fairness in that. They didn't ask for that. So I think, you know, for me, in looking at like pain I've gone through in my life, I've had a lot of pain, you know, I've lost a lot of people, and it's hard. But then I also have to be realistic, and I mean, and not maybe the next day, because the reality is, in my life as I know it, those things are very painful because I don't live that other existence on a daily basis. But the importance of being educated about what's going on in the rest of the world, or even in other parts of my city or country, it's important because I have to realize that my situation is much better than many, many, many people out there, millions of people out there, you know? And I don't want to take that for granted, not for 1 second. I want to be extremely grateful for what I have, you know? And, turn that gratitude into a force within me to be able to look at my life and say, hey, you have it pretty good, you know? Now, how are you going to respond to the world? Out of kindness and compassion and love? Because that's who I want to be, you know? How did I get on that topic? To be in my mind for a whole day, can you even imagine? I can't even imagine. Tanya was surprised. She's like, you've been getting fountain pops a little bit more. She's like, you went a long time. I was like, I know, I was just drinking water. I almost got a water tonight. And I was like, I'm kind of like feeling like a fountain pop. Like I need something. So I did. I got a fountain pop. That's what I did. I started watching Grace and Frankie last night, too. I watched one episode of, well, almost the whole episode. The show makes me sad. It reminds me of my mom and her friends. You know, the thing is, it's sad, is like getting older, like, you figure out a lot of stuff as you get older, you know, things that you cared about when you were younger. I mean, honestly, you don't care as much about it as you get older. You really don't, you know? And, I mean, not everything, but there are things you cared about when you were younger that you realize as you get older. It's like, okay, you know, like, even just a couple years ago, I was stressing out about my weight and stuff like that going on vacation. I'm like, I'm going on vacation. I'm going to eat what I want to eat. I'm going to enjoy it. Okay. Nobody is looking. And you have these realization moments, right? When you realize you're not the one they're going to be looking at the pool. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not going to be the case. And so you're like, so you're going to go to the pool, Peter, and you're going to wear whatever bathing suit you want. You're going to order, you know, nachos or cheese quesadillas by the pool, and you're going to enjoy your trip, and you're going to have a good time, and screw it. Because that's really what life is about, enjoying that moment. Don't go in the moment and be stressed out about all that stuff. Somebody said to me last night, and I really liked that they said this. They said, don't plan. It shifted my perspective, so I appreciate it. They said, don't plan your trip while you're on vacation because it'll make you not focus on your vacation. Which is it's a really, like, I was glad somebody said that, because what happens is it's not like the whole trip. It's always like the day, like our last day. Like Alex and I will be by the pool and we'll be like, I think because we kind of don't want to come home, you know? I either at the end of a trip am very ready to come home, or I could stay another week. Beach trips, other than missing my dogs, if I could have my dogs there, which is why I would love to like rent an Airbnb in Florida and just have my dogs there for a month, you know? Other than that, beach trips, I could stay there. I mean, I'm so much happier being able to get in the pool every day, being in the sunshine every day, all that kind of stuff. I'm so much happier. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. But anyway, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go down this road. I've never gone down this road. Well, I've gone down this road one time, but I haven't gone far on this road, because it's right next to this old grocery store that I used to love, and it's not there anymore. They tore it down. Have they put anything in its place? It was a grocery store, kind of like Whole Foods, but it wasn't a Whole Foods. No, they haven't put anything in there. What was it called? I can't even remember. Isn't that funny how you can't remember stupid stuff like that? But anyway, so like that's kind of like how it works sometimes for me, is you have this moment of awareness, right? That kind of helps you get through that stuff. And I know why I'd never gone down this road before, because it's just all, I think this is about as far as I went, and then I turned in there. Because it's all, what do you call it? Shoot, what's the word I'm looking for? It's all like offices and warehouses and stuff. There's nothing back here. But anyway, I mean, you have these moments of awareness as you get older, that certain stuff just doesn't bother you. I mean, stuff still bothers me, like in certain moments, but then you can kind of work yourself through it quicker, right? But then as you get to a certain age and you start realizing that stuff, or you start realizing to yourself, like, one of the things I don't even know how to turn around here. Where am I? I don't even know what this road is. Exit 5. And then when you I have no clue where I just went back here. I'm like completely turned around right now. I guess I'm on exit 5, whatever that means. Is this car coming behind me? No, so I can turn around right here. The other thing is you start realizing, and this is a truism right here, a truth, is that a lot of those things that you wanted to do when you were younger, like possibly be an actress or an actor, or possibly write a book, or write a screenplay, or be a fashion designer, you start realizing, I could have done those things. Like, I might have been a contender. Like, I really could have done those things if I had done enough work and I had worked hard enough. You realize that if you are passionate about something enough and you are a hard enough worker, that you can probably achieve some of those things, right? So those two kind of go hand in hand, because what you realize, and I think, like, younger people who figure that out quicker, like, hey, what am I passionate about? I'm going to chase my dreams. And I'm not going to get real concerned with all the exterior superficial stuff that doesn't matter anyway. I'm going to focus on this and experiences and people in my life, right? The younger people, I think, that get that from an early age are the ones that have the best life. I honestly do. Because what happens is you get that as you get older, but then what you realize is by the time you figured it out, half the people you knew are gone. And you're getting to a point where it's probably too late to have those dreams. I mean, let's just be for real. Not a lot of fashion designers start at 55. You know what I mean? Not to say they couldn't, but it's going to be a lot harder. And so what you realize is you get to, like, there's that song in Thelma and Louise when she's driving through the Badlands. And it's like, oh, it's called, like, Ballad or Ode to Lucy something. I used to have a song downloaded or on the soundtrack or something. I loved it. And she's like, she realized she would never drive a car through, like, Paris and late at night or something like that, or is the line, I don't know, something like that. But you do kind of realize that as you get older. And as much as I, like, get criticized sometimes for, like, going to LA and meeting YouTubers and that are younger and, you know, like wanting to do these collabs, and it's corny and why am I doing this, you old man and whatever. Part of it for me is not just for me. Part of it to me is to send out a message to people that you are never too old to chase your dreams. Do something fun. I'm having a hell of a lot of fun in my life right now. I am having a really good time. I really am. The fact that I get to get up on a daily basis and make videos on 5 channels or 3 that day, or take a day off from making videos, or, you know, and possibly reach out to people, and I've met some really cool people, you know, like, I have a really amazing life right now, you know, living with the man of my dreams. I have 3 of the greatest dogs. I feel like they are. I think everybody should think their dogs are the greatest. You know what I mean? I have great friends and family. I feel very, very blessed and grateful in my life right now. And I want people to realize you can have that too. I want people that are out there that are suffering from addiction to realize you can get sober and you can have that too. I want people that are aging, that are thinking to themselves, oh my God, like my life is half over, or I'm nearing retirement age. You can have anything that you want to have. What do you want to have? You know? I want to be an example of that. You know, for people that are younger that are watching this, I want people to realize, go chase your dreams now. Do those things that you want to do. You know, one of the things that, like, I always wanted to do, and I had a lot of friends of mine that did this, was I always wanted to backpack through Europe, right? And that's kind of a trip you do either, like, after high school or while you're in college, or, like, right after college. This is the reality. I mean, you could do that at 35 if you wanted, okay? Or you could do it at I could do it at 46. But let's just be for real, okay? Let's say I'm gonna go backpacking through Europe for 2 months, and I'm gonna get my hostel pass, and I'm gonna get my Eurail pass. Do they even do that stuff anymore? Okay, I'm 46 years old. I don't know that I'm gonna love staying in a youth hostel, okay, number one, if I even can at my age, I don't know. Number 2, I mean, like, I like a little bit more luxury than a youth hostel. That's just the reality. Number 2, I own a condo and I have bills to pay. You know what I mean? And I have 3 dogs. What am I gonna do? Board my dogs for 3 months or for 2 months? I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? So, like, as you get older, you realize that some of these things that you wanna do, you're not gonna be able to do as you get older, you know? It's like why a lot of people wait to buy a house or a condo, because they're like, once I buy that, then I'm like seaming it into something. And there's a lot of truth to that, you know? And it's like, you know, once you get to a certain point, it's like you can't do some of the things that you wanted to do before. And so I think if you're younger, go do it now, you know? You really should. I think my mom experienced a lot of that when she got sober and was about 5 years sober. And I think her being single, even though, you know, I was just talking to my mom's friend Susie about this last night. You know, my mom would say, I wish I had a companion, because I would love, like, a man to travel with, or, you know, like, go out to dinner with, or go see movies with. And, I mean, she would want some romance in her life, too, you know, obviously. But she'd say, but I don't really want to be in a committed relationship again where, you know, like, okay, we have such and such to do on Tuesday, and you need to be in, like, come on, I'm turning the TV off, we're going to bed. Like, my mom had so many friends of hers. I did not know this was a thing until my mom said this. My mom had so many friends of hers that, like, they would be, like, watching TV with their husbands in the living room, and the husband would just get up at, like, 10 o'clock and walk across and, like, turn off the TV and go, come on, let's go to bed. And my mom, like, you know, she wanted to go to bed at 7 o'clock, she'd go to bed at 7 o'clock. If she wanted to stay up till 2 and watch a movie, she'd stay up till 2 and watch a movie. She was like, I don't want that in my life anymore, you know? Like, so I think she was afraid of giving up her independence as well. And so it was a double-edged sword, because it's like, I don't want to give up my independence, but I don't want to be alone all the time either, you know? And I actually said this in my video with Trisha, I think. I said, like, my mom used to laugh, and she'd say, I'd love to have one of my girlfriends move in here, and then we'd have, like, 2 twin beds, like, you know, Dorothy and her mom on, they didn't have 2 twin beds, they had a double bed, didn't they? Yeah. Or, like, a queen-size bed. But, you know, like, 2 twin beds or something, you know, next to each other, and, like, you know, and they would just, like, go to movies and, like, you know, travel together, and she thought that would be fun. She's like, but I don't want the whole neighborhood to think that I'm a lesbian, and I'm not a lesbian, and I don't care if people think I'm a lesbian, but I just don't want the neighborhood to think I'm a lesbian, because I'm not a lesbian, and there's nothing wrong with being a lesbian. And I don't care if people think I'm a lesbian, but I'm not a lesbian, so I don't want people to think I'm a lesbian. I'd be like, Mom, you care that people think you're a lesbian. She's like, no, I really don't. I have lots of friends that are lesbians. I'm completely fine with lesbians. But I'm not a lesbian, and I just don't want anybody to think that I'm a lesbian. I'm like, Mom, you care that people think. She's like, no, I mean, I really don't. But I'm not a lesbian. I'm like, I know, Mom, you're not. So anyway, Caroline and I used to joke about, we'd have our mothers, you know, like in some nursing home together, and they'd be like sharing the place, and we'd get called in there like every other day because they were fighting. And I think it's so funny, like Caroline and I worried about that for so long. Like, what are we going to do with them when they're like at that age where they both have to be in an assisted living program, and neither one of them made it there, you know? So if there are things that you want to do them, you know? I'm really, really big on making dream lists. You know, I think vision boards are great. I think, you know, making lists of things you want to do, but what are your dreams? Like, what are things that you, like, I think sometimes we don't really think about this, like, really think about this, right? Like, there will be a day that you do not exist on this planet anymore, that you're gone. Think about that. There's going to be a day that you're done. It's over. No watching vlogs, no listening to music, no eating your favorite food. This is why today, and I still don't fully get it. It's not like sunk into me yet, you know? I forget. And that when I forget is when I get consumed with stuff that doesn't matter. Because if I really got that, if I really, really got that there's gonna be a day when you are dead and gone and it is done, why would I care about all this other exterior stupid stuff? I wouldn't, right? I'd be trying to be, you know, just in it all the time. And I think it's hard. I think, you know, sometimes we don't think that way. I know sometimes I don't. My husband's actually somebody that, like, he's not afraid to die. Like, he has no fear of death whatsoever, which is crazy to me, you know? And I don't have as much as I used to. It kind of went away with my mom passing away. But, like, I'm good if I don't think about it. Like, I don't have it anywhere near how I had it when I was younger. When I was younger, like, I could lay in bed and, like, be like, well, what if this is it? And it's just blackness and darkness forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Like, I could, like, literally almost put myself in, like, a panic attack because I would think that way. And I don't really ever go there anymore. I just know I'm not ready to go, you know? Like, I got a lot of stuff I want to do. Life is life is really good right now. I mean, I guess if this was my time, then I've had one hell of a life. I've been very blessed to have the things in my life that I've had and the experiences I've had and the people that I've had. I feel like, you know, but there's also something to me about, it's gonna stop, hold on. There's also something to me, I don't know what it is. I don't want to get closer to the age of death, but there's also something to me that's, I don't know, I'm like comforting, but that's not the word I'm looking for. I don't mind getting older, you know? I don't mind the idea of being older and doing old people stuff, I guess. Like, that doesn't seem to bother me the way that I thought it would. It's so funny to me because, you know, I think about my dad at my age. You know, my dad at my age was at the height of his career and was having the most fun in his life and traveled literally all the time. He and my stepmom traveled all the time. And, you know, I think about that and, like, people, I think it's honestly, I think that if I wasn't on YouTube, I don't feel like I would even question my age as much. Like, let's just be for real, okay? 46 is not old. I know that people want to say that a lot, but like 46 is just not old. It just really isn't, you guys. Like, I mean, did I ever imagine I'd be 46? No. But like, I think about my mom getting sober at 51, and I think about her then, and like, she had 13 years of sobriety, and like, my mom, when she first got sober, I look back and I think, God, she was still so young and youthful. Like, you know, like those, what, oh, my oil change. Those were some of the, like, best couple years of her life, you know, and I think back about that, and I think, that scared the hell out of me. That's the first time that's ever happened in this car, because I'm not used to it, because it's my old car. But, you know, like, I look back at my mom getting sober at 51, and, like, those were some of the best years, her first, let's say, 5 years of her life. And, or, you know, like, that she really enjoyed it, and, you know, she lost weight, and she felt good about herself, and she was walking every day, and she was going to a lot of meetings, and she was full of life. And I look back at that mom, and I think of that mom as being rather young. Well, she was 51. I'm 5 years away from that, you know? And I think that if I wasn't on YouTube with people that are, let's be real, 15 to 20 years or more younger than me on a regular basis, with a small few, I don't know that I would even question my age, really. Honestly, I just don't think that I would. But I don't feel like getting older is a bitch or anything like that when people say that stuff. Like, I just don't. I mean, it really, I mean, other than a few, like, aches and pains, you know, and your back hurts a little bit in the morning, and if you sleep the wrong way, it hurts a lot more than it did 20 years ago, and your metabolism sucks. That's something they tell you that you don't believe, but it really is true. I mean, 20 years ago, you know, I could miss a meal and walk down the street and lose 3 pounds. That's not the case as you get older. I mean, your metabolism about almost stops, and, you know, you gotta have reading glasses and all that. But I guess more than anything, you know, it's like, I don't really mind it. But the thing that's the hardest is, like, when I'm laying in bed and I'm with Alex and the dogs, and I just, in that moment, like I was kind of whispering to Boo Radley last night, and I know, because I'm conscious of change, that there's going to be a day that hopefully Alex and I are, you know, still together, but there's going to be a day that Alex and I are there and they're not, you know, that Boo and PP and Tucker aren't there. Or we have different dogs or something. I mean, I don't know, but, you know, like, in that moment, it's like, I don't know if anybody else experiences this, but, like, I'm so happy in that moment. Like, I feel so content with, you know, like, PP and Tucker on the end of the bed playing, because I always play late at night, and I'll, you know, before I, like, go to sleep, I'll be like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? You know, and I, like, they, like, go crazy and stuff, you know, and then Boo Radley's up sleeping by my head, and I'll whisper to him a little bit, and then, you know, Alex is sleeping, and it just, I'm very content in that moment. I feel very safe. It feels homey to me, and I just love that moment. But then the flip of that is thinking about down the road, you know, like, and I'm like, I wish we could go back 5 years, you know, to when the dogs were, you know, PB didn't have heart disease, and Boo and Tucker weren't 9 years old. You know what I mean? It makes me sad. And, but that's life, right? Like, this is what we signed up for. Just sometimes wish I could stop time. Just stop it, you know? It sucks too, because, like, many things in my life. Oh, by the way, hi Karen. I just passed her street like 2 streets ago. But anyway, many things in my life wouldn't be if my mom hadn't passed away. Like, that's just the truth. I don't know where I'd be living. But I honest to God think I'd be in Denver. I don't know though, because my mom being here would have been one reason I probably would have stayed. But I still wouldn't be with my ex because he and I had broken up in, you know, early part of December. My mom passed away in May. So, you know, I never really, maybe I've thought about it before and talked about it on here, but it's just like I just realized it again for a while. I never really realized that I started my booktube channel right around the time of my mom's death. Maybe I've talked about that before, but I don't remember talking about that before. But anyway, you know, it's weird when I think about that. Like, if my mom was still alive today, let's say if she was still alive and living in the condo, I don't think I'd be with Alex. I don't think we would have met. I think my life would have looked very different. You know, that was really hard for me when I met Alex because I was a big believer in like soulmates and all this kind of stuff. And I remember we had a conversation about it. It was almost kind of like a deal breaker with me at the beginning because I was like, he was like, I don't believe in soulmates. And I was like, you don't believe in soulmates? And he was like, no. And I was like, why not? And at the time I was crushed because I wanted him to be my soulmate. You know what I mean? And he said, I think that opportunities arise where people meet, and then, you know, like, our qualities align and we come together and we work through things, and then we decide to have this, you know, relationship and work on it, and it's a blessing or something like that. I can't remember how I said it, but anyway, I was like, you mean we're not soulmates? But what's funny about that is, you know, like, I don't know that had my mom not died, I don't know that I would have met Alex. Because I was hanging out with my friend Liz a lot at that time, and going out with her when my mom was sick in the hospital. And I don't think I would have been doing that if my mom wasn't in the hospital, because it was like a way for me to kind of get things off my mind. So we would go to a meeting, and then we would like go out that night and stuff. We were hanging out so much together back then. So I don't think, I wouldn't have been out to meet Alex. I wouldn't have seen him and been like, oh, this is somebody I want to meet. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think that would have happened. I don't know. I don't honestly know what would have happened. It's weird, you know? But I also think, like, if I hadn't been with Alex, then we wouldn't have started, I would never have started the website, which started as a blog, which the website led to me meeting my publisher, which that led to her telling me to contact booktubers, which I didn't even know about, which led to me starting a booktube channel, which led to me starting my Peter Monn channel and all the subsequent channels. So had I never met Alex, this wouldn't be my life right now. Like, I don't even know what my life would look like. I really don't. Like, it's so weird, isn't it? I mean, Alex is such a huge part of that, because I can remember, I mean, I literally can remember the night that we were sitting, I don't know what happened, but I can remember it was this fantastic dinner, and we go, it's this Basbo's pizza place. It's a local pizza place, and we love it. But I can remember it was like early-ish spring or summer, I think. Like, it was like spring sometime. And we went to Basbo's, and we were like sitting outside, and it was a really warm night, and we were sitting there, and he loved Gossip Girl. And I said, well, what if we started like a website, you know, where it was kind of like a local Gossip Girl, except that people would know who we were. And we would write about, like, all of the local stuff that's going on. Like, you know, the local popular crowd, the local what's hot to do on a Friday night, the local concerts, all this kind of stuff. And that's really how it started. And that started there. And then we ended up, you know, it going on and becoming what it is today. And, but we did a lot of fashion stuff with it. And that's actually how I met my publisher, was through that. And, you know, I look at that and I just think it's so weird to me that none of that, you know? So, believe in soulmates or not, but maybe that happened for a reason, you know? So you can thank my husband, because if it wasn't for him, agreeing to go. Well, and this is the other funny thing. So I asked Alex out in April before my mother had passed away. And he was very nice about the whole thing, but he said, I'm still interested in my ex. And so I was like, okay, whatever. And so I didn't hear from him until August. And by then my mom had passed away. I'd been out to Denver twice. I was wanting to go to Denver and live. And he said, he messaged me, I think on Facebook, and was like, I mean, it must have been Facebook. Not Facebook. I didn't even have, did I have Facebook then? I don't even know when I started having Facebook. He messaged me on MySpace, which is where I originally messaged him, and he was like, are you still wanting to take me on that date? And I messaged him back and I said, so you must be over your ex by now. And he was like, LOL or something. And so we went on that date. I did not want to go on the date. I canceled it like twice before I went. I just had no interest in starting anything, and, you know, I don't know. I just wasn't interested. I was like, I was all ready to go. I mean, I had really like gone to Denver a couple times. I had gone more than 2, I think. I'd gone out there like 4 times that summer or something ridiculous. I would fly out there on like a Wednesday and stay till like a Monday. Oh my God, we had so much fun out there. My friend and I that lives in Denver. And so I was gonna, if you live in Denver, you'll know the area I'm talking about. I was gonna move to Lodo, which was the area that I was gonna move to. And I was gonna completely change the script of my life and do something different. And I had this whole idea for how that was gonna look. And then Alex and I went on a date, and I will never forget picking him up for that date that night. And it was at he was staying, well, he had gotten off school downtown, and then he went over to our friend's condo. And he walked in front of my car, and he had this like blue Abercrombie shirt on. He still wears it every once in a while, and just like every time I see him in that shirt, it just reminds me of that very first time. And he like walked in front of my car, and he was like, he like waved at me, and I was like, I am so fucked. Like, he was so cute. And Alex was wild when I first met him too. I mean, he was a little bit of trouble. And I think, to be honest with you, like, my past 2 boyfriends had been super like stable and safe, and I think like that was really important for me to have. I needed a little bit of like some wild fun nights. Our first, like, I don't know, forever, like, we would like go out like 4 nights a week. Like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we were going out. Remember, Thursday nights we went salsa dancing at the Jazz Kitchen in Broad Ripple. Maybe Wednesday nights we didn't go out. We were going Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But like Thursday nights we go to the Jazz Kitchen, then we go to this other bar downtown, and then we went with these girls that he was friends with since high school. And oh my God, I'll never forget the first time that I saw my husband salsa dance with his cousin Maya. Oh my God. They danced to the Celia Cruz song. I think I've talked about this in a Peterisms video before. They did a salsa contest at the Jazz Kitchen, and it was like all these couples, and it was down to like 3 couples, and they lost because they gave it to this really like old couple. And has it been like out of focus all this time? And so it was nice they gave it to that couple, but Maya and Alex should have won. I was like, I will never forget. I even remember the shirt that I was wearing. I had this like kind of like silky material, like button-up shirt that was short sleeve, and I was like in great shape. I weighed like 180 at that time, or 175, and I was at the gym every day, and this shirt just was like rippled on me. I don't know how I remember I wore that shirt. And so we were there, and it just was like, I remember just sitting there watching him, and I was like, he is so sexy. And just free, you know, I think why he was so good for me then was so free-spirited, and just, this is who I am. And I remember, you know, like, there were some like important moments that first 6 months. I mean, we had some really difficult times our first year, you know. I was a 36-year-old man who had lost his mother, and, you know, basically had an entire career by that point, and was pretty settled, and liked to drive around with my good Judy and get a fountain pop and go to a meeting, you know. And he was not. That wasn't his story, you know. His story was he had just moved back from IU, and he was living with his mom, and to save some money to get his own place, and he wanted to go out and party and have fun, and he was young, and he was 24, and that was kind of what he wanted to do, you know. And by all practical purposes, we were not, I mean, we joke about this sometimes, we were not the couple that should have made it. Like, we just aren't. And I look at that, and I'm like, okay, we're going on our 11th year, you know. And it's not been great the whole time. We've had some really, 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 really hard, gruesome shit in our marriage and in our relationship. But you know what? We're still here. And I really do believe that that is what a relationship is truly about, is making a commitment to working through those really tough times. Now, I think there's a lot of situations where you have to get out of it, where, you know, obviously if it's abusive and it's, you know, demeaning to somebody in those situations, there's horrible situations that, you know, but I'm talking about regular stuff, you know, or even some not regular stuff that's really painful that, I don't know, the best thing we ever did was get into marriage counseling. I mean, we both agree that we probably should have done it like 5 years before that, you know? But I also don't know that if we had done it 5 years before, we would have been at a point to hear the things that we hear now. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, I think to some degree, we had to get to a point where we're like, okay, we're going to marriage counseling, you know? And, so yeah, and it was good. But God, that first, oh my God. We had so much fun. I mean, we had so much fun. We'd stay out all night long. Oh my God. And I hadn't done that. Like with my ex and I, we didn't do that. I mean, we went to casino riverboats and we watched movies at home. We did not go out. Well, our first year or two, like, cause he lived in Seymour. So like if I was staying with him for a weekend, like he and our friends, we would go to the Connection in Louisville. We did that like every other weekend that I was staying with him, we would usually go down there. But like as our relationship went on, I'd say after the first year, we stopped going out. We'd go to riverboat casinos, we'd rent movies and all that kind of stuff. But we didn't do anything social. So I went from, you know, and my first boyfriend was a DJ. Well, at the end of the relationship, he's a DJ now too, but at the end of the relationship, he started that. So like he was going and doing a lot of social stuff at first when we first started dating, but I was so young back then too, you know, I was 23 years old when we started dating. And, he was what, 21, I think 21. Well, he would have had to have been 21. Was he 21? I don't remember how old he was. But anyway, he's just a couple years younger than me. And, when we first started dating. So I don't know how I still remember his birthday. I think we were exactly 2 years apart. 23. So he would have been 21. Yeah. Because I remember this one birthday of his. No, we would have been a year apart. He would have been 22 when I met him. Oh, that's weird. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter, right? He and I are civil towards each other, so. But I'm like thinking about the birthdays I spent with him, and I'm like, I don't remember a 21st birthday. So that means he would have been 22, and I remember that first birthday. It's the first year I remember what we did. So anyway, yeah. Well, no. Then he would have been 21 when we met, and he would have turned 22 after we started dating. So anyway, yeah, so we were like that's how it was. Because we started dating in October, and his birthday was in January, and so I was 23, and then he was 21, and then he turned 22 in January. I don't know why it matters. It's been, my God, we broke up when I was like 5 years. No, we broke up. Okay, we dated for almost 5 years. We broke up on Valentine's Day, right? So we started dating when I was 23. So I would have been 27 going on 28 when we broke up. Is that right? Yeah. I would have been 27 going on 28 when we broke up. Anyway, I told Tanya tonight, I was like, we got to figure out the exact date that we met for this, because I want to do it for this video. So we're going to try to figure out the exact date that we met. But anyway, So anyway, back then, that was like so many years before that I was like going out. Like when we first met, he and I, we would go out like for like the first year or two, but then we really didn't. Like we stopped, and then at the end of our relationship, like the last year, he went out a lot with his brother, who has since passed away, and because his brother was gay too. This is not my ex. This is my ex, two exes ago, and they would go out a lot. And then he started like going to circuit parties and all that kind of stuff. If you don't know what circuit parties are, they're like these big gay parties where they all dress, dance with their shirts off. And you guys know what I'm talking about. So anyway, and he started doing all that and getting into DJing for that and whatever. And that's really kind of what caused like the breakup between he and I, because he wanted to do all that and I didn't. I was okay with doing the crossword, and I was working out every day at that point, and like had my job in the treatment facility, and I just lived a very simple life, and I just didn't want all that. And that was a big part of why it led to the end, because he really wanted this world. And I'm not a big believer on, keeping somebody in a situation that they don't want to be in. But that one was devastating for me, I remember. I really had a hard time with that. And that was my very first, like, long-term relationship, So anyway, I mean, like, that was like years that I hadn't really gone out, and then I meet Alex, and all of a sudden I'm going out all the time. And yeah, I won't lie, I had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun at the first, And I think at that point too, even though I wasn't like actively involved in the 12-step program at that time, because I had like stopped going to meetings, which I've talked a lot about on here, but like, like, I was still talking to my sponsor, I was still talking to Tanya, I was still reading the literature, I was not using anything, and so we would go out, and I was completely sober, and it was like my, first time, like, as an adult, like, going out, and I felt confident, and I felt good about myself, going out to these places, and dancing all night long. And I can remember even one of Alex's friends, the friend that we went to Florida with that first year, I'll never forget, we were, like, at some bar, and he goes, he said, I hope I am just like you at your age. He goes, you have so much fun. He was like, you don't care, and you just get out on the dance floor, and you'll dance all night long. And I will, and I would, and I still will. I love it. I loved it. I started saying it's going to stop, and then it stopped. But I will, I love all that, and I think it's so much fun, and I think that's part of it too, is it's like, by the time that you get to the point where, well, I don't think this is true of everybody. I think there's a lot of young people that don't give a shit and party and have, not party, but dance and, have fun and all that kind of stuff and wear the outfit they want to wear. But when you get to the point where you really don't care anymore about some of that stuff and you're just like dancing and whatever, it's like, then you look like, well, there's that old dude dancing out there. You know what I mean? And it's like, you just don't care. And you're like, hey, and all that. But it's whatever. So. And Alex doesn't really go and do all that stuff. We talk about going salsa dancing every once in a while. But we haven't been in a long time. We should do that when we get back. I'll tell you, there is nothing like it being 104 degrees in the summer, laying by the pool all day long, going to get like a salad and some fruit, coming home, taking a nap, doing married folk stuff, and then getting up and getting dressed real sexy and going downtown and having some really romantic dinner somewhere, that's kind of fun. And then going salsa dancing and meeting up with all your friends. It is so, oh my God, we used to have, that was so much fun. There were a couple places that we would go. I don't salsa dance, but I try my best. I really try my best. Do you know who the only person I can really salsa dance with? This is so funny. Is Alex's mom. Like, she's always like, you are such a great dancer. I'm like, thanks. I always do these little moves with her and stuff. But I think I just feel so comfortable with her. It's so funny because we were wondering, like, if Carlitos or Sebastian would be dancers, and they both are, like, huge dancers. But Liliana, like, Carlitos is, like, really serious about his dancing now. So, like, they'll play a song, and he'll, like, he does all these moves. He was doing the worm the other day, and she records him the whole time. And then, like, he'll even say things at the end, like, this is the move I've been working on. And he's 6, you guys, okay? And this is the move I've been working on, and whatever. And he's a really, really good dancer. I'm not just saying that, like, he is. Like, you can tell, like, you know, that he really enjoys it and he's good at it. And so Liliana sent Alex this video the other day, and we were watching it, and I said she should start, like, an Instagram and just put all dance videos up of him. Like, he would, like, get followers like crazy overnight. And Alex is like, that's stupid. I was like, no, people would love that. People would love if it was like an Instagram all of Carlitos just dancing. That would be like hilarious, the dancing kid. And they all say that, like, when Alex was like younger, like, if you have not seen, get ready, okay? If you follow my husband's Instagram, just get ready, because when we go to Ultra Music Festival or any music festival, I get a hold of camera, I get a hold of his phone and take video of him dancing, because he loves to dance. My husband loves music and dancing so much, and it's so cool to sit there and watch him just like in his element, just really, really enjoying it. I do want to say this though, because somebody reached out to me, and they're like the third person that's reached out to me recently and asked me this question. Somebody said, this person had gone to a music festival and they really struggled kind of like with there being like a lot of drugs there because they don't use and whatever. And all three people have asked me, and this has been like in the last 2 weeks, like, how do you go to Ultra Music Festival and the drugs don't bother you? Okay, so the first year that we went, which I think this is our 6th year, we tried to figure it out the other day and we couldn't figure it out. So, I don't know, we'll have to look at the wristbands and see which year is our 1st or 6th. This is either our 5th or our 6th year. The first year that we went, like, Alex was really, really, like, adamant that he wanted to go to a music festival. He had been for like 2 years. If you don't know this, like, Alex's cousin Maya is very involved in this scene. She, like, dances for DJs. She's been in music videos. At Coachella last year, for, I can't remember who it was, but it was like Tiesto or somebody big like that. Like, she was literally the one dancer in this whole video that they played through like 3 songs. Like, she's very, very, like, this is what she does for a living. And so, like, Alex is, like, connected that way, and they know a lot of the same people, and Alex is obsessed with this whole world. Well, he hadn't been to a music festival, and he wanted to go. But I'm a sober person, and I was terrified to go because I didn't know what that world would look like, and all I had heard was drugs and people falling out and people dying and all this kind of stuff, and I was terrified. I was like, I don't know that I want to go, you know? And so he said, I can remember, we were sitting in the bedroom, and it was like late at night one night, and he goes, I want to go to a music festival this year. He goes, I'm going to go to a music festival this year. So I would love for you to go with me and experience it with me. But if you don't want to go, that's fine. But I'm going to go to one. And he goes, so if you want to go, pick one, and that will be the one that we go to. And I was like, oh God, like, okay, well, I'm going to go and I'm going to do this, and I can experience a music festival because this is something that my husband really, really wants, and I can do this, right? So so that year, I think it was later in the summer, there was there's Tomorrowland in Belgium, which is huge, but there was Tomorrow World in Tennessee, I think. It's outside of Atlanta, but it's Tennessee. It's like, I don't know, but it's like, anyway, it's like right before you get to Atlanta. And, or maybe it's still but we stayed in Atlanta, downtown Atlanta. And then he wanted to do that one, and then the other one was like Electric Forest in Michigan, and then the other one, or EDC in Las Vegas was another one because Maya lives in Las Vegas, and Ultra Music Festival in Miami. Well, we had quite a few friends of ours that had gone to Ultra Music Festival, and they were like, you know, oh, you got to go to Ultra just once in your life and all this kind of stuff. So I started looking into it. I will just tell you that the VIP tickets have gone, in the years that we've gone, they've literally gone up about $600 a person, if not more. The processing fee on the ticket alone is like $200. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I was like, okay, I will go to, and I mean, we have a lot of friends that go to music festivals, so I kind of knew. I knew that like Electric Forest, you know, is like, it's not Detroit, I don't know where it's at, but it's in Michigan somewhere. It's like all camping out, and I heard it was like really heavy drugs, like really, really, really. In fact, people have told me, like, if you go, don't stay in this area, don't stay in that area. Those are areas where people specifically stay if they're doing all this kind of stuff. And I was like, there's no way. EDC, I heard, was like hardcore, just party, which we probably will do EDC at some point. Like, I don't I think I could do that. Maya was in the documentary about that as well. I think today I could probably do EDC because I think EDC and Ultra are very similar. And I want to do Tomorrow World or Tomorrowland in Belgium. And we've had some friends that have done that and they really enjoyed it. But so we did Ultra, and then we decided that we were going to stay in South Beach and that we were going to get VIP tickets because here was my thing. If we were going to go, I wanted to be able to have, hold on a second. If we were going to go, I wanted to be able to have like a place that I could sit because, you know, I don't want to stand on my feet for 12 hours. Alex can do that, but I was like, I want to be able to have some place that I can sit and I can be comfortable and all that kind of stuff, you know, smoke a cigarette, whatever. I don't want to be like standing on my feet for, is it like out of focus right now? I can't tell. But I was like, if we're going to go, I want it to be, I can sit down and I want there, you know, not to have to wait 2 hours to use a porta pot and things like that. So that's why we ended up doing the VIP tickets, which for us, and I don't know what other people think, but for us, I can tell you, was and is the way to go, okay? And, you know, if I was 20 years old, I would do general admission all the way and sit in the grass. I would have no problem doing that. I'm not 20 years old. I'm just, you know, I'm 46, and I need a place to sit my old ass sometimes. So we did Ultra. Well, the first year that we went to Ultra, I think it was 21 and over. And so you just didn't really see a lot of drugs. And we were also, the majority of the time, in the VIP area. And that was, I mean, even though the VIP area is packed, I mean, it's not like, it's, and then there's, on top of the VIP, there's like VIP. And the VIP is like, these people like, well, last year I saw like Lele Pons in there. There was quite a few YouTubers, but like these huge clubs. Hold on a second, since I'm at this, I want to see if this is like out of focus. No, it's fine. These huge clubs like Lavo and Marquee, like they rent these huge sections, right? I'm sure they're like $20, $30, $50,000 a section. They're just unbelievable, and they bring like, they throw all this money out, and there's people from all over the world that rent these sections out, and they throw money, and they spray champagne and all that kind of stuff. And then there's even VIP, which is like you get to go behind the stage, and that's for like the Paris Hiltons and those kind of people. So anyway, the first year we went, I think I smelled pot like twice. I didn't see really anybody drunk, and I sure as shit didn't see anybody falling out from any kind of drug. I just didn't. So that was the first year. And then we went the following year, and they switched it to 18 and under. The thing is about Ultra, they are so strict about like what you bring in and searching your stuff and all that kind of stuff that, like, I mean, people could bring drugs in. I'm not, you know, I mean, I've sat like 2 feet away from somebody smoking pot at Ultra. The last couple years, I've smelled the pot is around a lot, but that doesn't really bother me. I can't stand the smell of it. I didn't even like the smell of it when I smoked pot. I thought it smelled gross. I hate it. It smells dirty to me. But even when I smoked it and loved it, so I don't love it, but like it doesn't bother. It doesn't make me go, oh God, I want to get high. And you know, I'm getting it. There's no such thing as a contact high. So just look into that if you want to find out the truth about that. So anyway, so other than that, like I've never seen people like, you know, just losing their, well, like maybe 1 or 2 a year, you know. But they're like, the security is on them that quick, and they're like carrying them to the side, you know, and giving them water. So I'm sure people could bring things in if they wanted to, and I'm sure people do use drugs at Ultra Music Festival. I just haven't witnessed it, not once. And now it's not 18 and under, it's 18 and over, is what I meant to say. But I mean, like, I really haven't seen anybody falling out from GHB or any of that kind of stuff. I mean, do I think people are there and they're probably doing it? Oh, I'm sure, but I haven't witnessed it. And then we turned around, and I don't know which year it was. It was the year that Fufu and his girlfriend graduated from Ball State, because they were living at home before they moved to San Diego. And we went to Haunted Fest in Cleveland. And I remember like standing outside, and there were like this whole fence around this place. It was like at a state fair kind of area. And there was this whole fence, and it was just all these like I don't know how old it was. I think it was 18 and over. Most of these places are 18 and over. There were all these like young kids, and they just were like passed out and drooling on themselves. It was so sad. And I told Alex, I said, I'm not coming back to this. I said, I'm not doing this. So I don't go to the smaller music festivals, because the smaller music festivals do have more of that kind of element. And there's quite a few that do. I mean, do I think there's like a shit ton of drugs at music festivals? I'm sure there are. I just really haven't witnessed it a whole lot, you know? And I'm not oblivious to it. Like, I mean, I see what's going on in front of me, so it's not like I don't notice it. But you don't walk around and see people passed out. Like, I don't see that, you know? You don't see people like over in a corner like spinning out and all that. I mean, you just don't. Hell, I saw more of that 30 years ago when I was going to raves, you know? I mean, you'd see that constantly at raves back in the day. And I think that's what I expected. And the thing is that it doesn't bother me to a point where it makes me want to use. It's not that at all. It makes me sad. It scares me. And I realize that I'm powerless over saving all of these people that are going to do it. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at all of these kids falling out against a fence at a music festival like in Cleveland. And it just makes me sad. And then my attitude and my mood goes south, and I don't want to be there. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to be here. This place sucks, you know? So that's why I don't go to a lot of those. Like, when Alex goes to like Spring Awakening, and he'll tell me, he'll be like, Peter, there was a lot of drugs. Like, there was just a lot of drugs, you know? And you probably wouldn't like it. He'll say that stuff to me. And so that's good, you know, that I know that and I don't go. Because I don't want to be surrounded by all of that. You know what I mean? I just don't. But I can understand people's fear. I mean, I definitely, first of all, if I was in early sobriety, there's no way I would ever go. No way. I think even just the drinking and being in that environment would have been really too hard for me. Well, I can tell you the smoking pot would have been way too hard for me back then, I think. I mean, the first year, I don't know how I didn't smell it, but like every year after that, I feel like, maybe it's just because it's more acceptable. Well, Florida is also, like, it's illegal, marijuana's legal there now. So maybe that's part of why I'm so dumb. See, I don't even realize that, right? Because we live in Indiana. That's probably what it was. But, like, this is how strict they are. The first year we went, so we parked, like, 3 or 4 streets back. And then, like, it used to be at the Bayfront in Miami. And like over. So it was like a 10-minute, 15-minute, probably longer than that, 15-minute walk to get into the place. Well, I had brought a pack of cigarettes. So we're walking in, and I opened the pack of cigarettes and had a cigarette on the way in. They confiscated my cigarettes because I had opened the pack. Because they don't want you to put anything in the pack, right? Like, they're really weird about stuff like that. Like, Melissa was really wanting to take this, what do you call it, Gucci fanny pack. And I said, girl, I said, I'm telling you right now, and if you want to leave it there, because they'll confiscate it. If you like, because like sometimes they say it has to be clear, it has to be this, and if you get up there and like they'll just take it. I mean, and if you say like, could you hold it to me till I'm gone, they'll be like, no, you can take it and go back to the hotel if you want. Well, by that point, we've taken a ferry ride and all this other kind of stuff over there. So it's like, what are you gonna do? Go all the way back to the hotel, you know, an hour away, and then come back? I mean, just, you know. So she's like, so you don't think I should take it? And I said, no, it's cute, but I said I would maybe go the first day and then the second, and ask if you can carry it, and then the second day. But can you imagine having to leave that there? You know, no. I'm not about all that anyway. I'll tell you what right now. That first year that I went, I was all about looking cute. I was like, I gotta have the cutest outfit on. I wanna look cute and all that kind of stuff. Screw that stuff. After that, I mean, I had so many blisters on my feet after the first day. I didn't even think I could make it past the second 2 nights. I really didn't. And the third night, my feet were bleeding. It was that bad. Now, it was my stupid fault that I wore these Nike high top sneakers that were brand new, and I wore no socks with them. Hello, Peter. But I liked how it looked. I thought it was cute with no socks on it. I did. I love high top sneakers with no socks on guys. I think it is fine. My husband always does that, but well, he wears low socks so you can't see it underneath there. But And he's got great calves for sneakers too, so I just think that's a hot look. But anyway, so it wasn't a hot look for me. It definitely wasn't a hot look for me, being by the pool, almost losing a toenail, and my feet bleeding and being blistered the next day. It was so painful. And to put those shoes on the very next day and then have to go back to the pool, or go back to the Ultra. So after that, I was like, screw it. I am going to be comfortable. And so I always am comfortable when I go. I always wear comfortable clothes, because I'm like, I'm not going to be uncomfortable, like, doing this. Like, I'm going to wear something that's comfortable. Who cares? You know what I mean? It was funny because, like, 2 years ago, and we're, like, the VIP section, like, they all stand in these sections. And it's, like, girls that are, like, you know, I mean, they're, like, super dressed up. And they have little dresses on and, you know, big hats. And, you know, it's all that. It's very much, like, young influencers on. Well, I will tell you this. Lele Pons and her friends, if you guys know who Lele Pons is, she's like that, Alex likes her. I don't know why, but I think she's kind of boring. But Venezuelan YouTuber. And she and all her friends, I mean, they were dressed like they were going to a rave. I mean, they really were. But they were taking 9 million selfies out there. But anyway, but they didn't look like VIP. They looked like people that would be at a festival. Ultra's not as much as like a to be seen kind of place like Coachella. It's not really about that. It's more about the music. And there's a much older crowd because it's very like European driven with the music. And so you see like tons and tons and tons of European people there. And like when you talk to people, there's a lot of people that are there and they're from like Sweden, and like Sweden and Denmark are like huge for being there, and stuff like that. So, you know, but you see all these people like really dressed up, and these guys that are like Rico Suave, you know. You also see quite a few like 2 older guys, like let's say 55, you know, with the shirts that are buttoned all the way down to their navel, and they're like, you know, sitting out there, and they're just sitting in these couches with these dark sunglasses on, smoking a cigar, and then they have 10 like beautiful 21-year-old girls around them, right? Well, last year, all of these VIP sections are out there, and like they can be kind of snooty. They'll like look back, you know, at the VIP section, kind of like, oh, don't you wish you were here, and all this kind of stuff. Well, let me just tell you, they had to, like, to get out of that section, they had to go down into like where general admission was, in like the mud kind of area. It started pouring down rain, and so we're up there in the VIP section, and they were trying to get back up there, and the security guards were like, nope, can't go that way. That's just for the VIP, for like just the normal folk down there. And we're seeing all these people get soaked. Anyway, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait. So yeah, I don't really, like, the drug stuff doesn't really bother me at the music festivals. And I don't go to the smaller ones anymore, and I don't go to the smaller ones for specifically that reason, because I know that there's going to be more of that there. So anyway, and you know, like if I saw something that really bothered me, I don't know how I would handle it. I would either, you know, go and I would probably, if it really bothered me and I thought somebody was in danger, I would probably go to a security guard and say, you know, I see this. I don't know if you've seen this. This worries me. Or if it was just a situation where somebody looked like they were on drugs and they were dancing or something, I'd just keep on walking it, you know? It's not my business. So, but definitely if I saw somebody like passed out and nobody had noticed them or whatever, I would definitely go get somebody immediately, you know? Yeah. I mean, I've seen that like maybe once or twice where the security guards will come and they start like hydrating people immediately. So that would probably be something like ecstasy, don't you think? I don't know. It's sad, but anyway, I'm excited to go. I think it's important for people to see that I'm sober, you know, 24 years, and that I can go to a music festival and I can have fun and I can dance and I can be with my husband, I can be with my friends, I can still have a good time. And, you know, the basic text tells me that I will recoil from alcohol like a hot flame. And, you know, that's how I am. Like, I don't think about it. Like, are there moments that I think a Corona on the beach would be fun? Sure. But then my tape plays through my head and I think, you don't need that. That thought hardly ever comes in there anyway. It like almost hardly ever comes in there. It really doesn't. So you know, when it does, I let it play through, and then I think a Diet Coke by the beach is really, I love a Diet Coke by the beach too, you know? And so, yeah. So anyway, I'm excited for this trip, and I can't wait to share more of my planning with you guys in the next couple days. And anyway, I'm gonna get off here and I'm gonna pull in the gas station. I have to go to the bathroom so bad because I have been like, I don't know how long this vlog is, but it feels like it's probably like an hour at this point. And I'm gonna get off here. I've got 1,000 things to do tomorrow before my meeting tomorrow night. And Tanya and I are getting together, and then we're gonna film that video and we're gonna get a pedicure and then film the video. So I'm excited about that. And I hope you guys are having an amazing day, unless you have other plans, but just have an amazing day, because that's more important. And I love you guys, and I will see, you know what? I need to get some gas. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, I almost forgot to say, and if nobody else has told you this today, you guys, I love you. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye. I love you.